Welcome to day one and your first tool to implement. And before I get to that, I'm going to share I have three pillars in my coaching practice that I kind of have as a foundation for what I do with clients. And the first pillar is to become self-aware. And I know that's used a lot in our world, but because I love neuroscience, I have discovered over the years with my own journey and then with clients what it actually means. Because scientists now know how so much of our brain works and then the brain connected with the body, we are based on patterns. And most of what we do is 90% the same that we did the day before. We might be doing different things, but we're thinking about 90% of the same thoughts every single day. So becoming self-aware is becoming aware of the thoughts we think, the words we say, and how those thoughts and words cause us to take certain actions. So that's the first pillar, and I think it's crucial to make any change in our life. So the first tool that I have for you are two really simple questions, but they cracked open the possibility for me that I could be free from anxiety. And I came across it not intentionally. I was sitting outside of Target in the parking lot, and I don't remember what was going on in my life, but I was feeling crazy overwhelm, which is often associated with anxiety. And who doesn't love Target? I love Target, but that day I had so much emotional heaviness going on that I was overwhelmed and feeling anxious just about going into Target. And I remember having the thought, what if I didn't have anxiety? It makes me tear up to this day because I remember the emotion that I felt at the possibility of, oh, wow, what would that be like? Because I had lived with anxiety for over 3 decades. So the two questions are, if I'm not blank, what am I? And when I asked myself, who would I be without anxiety? I, of course, got super emotional because there were so many things that I wanted to do that I was scared to do or didn't even try. But those kinds of dreams, they don't go away. And that's what makes anxiety kind of build momentum and can lead to depression, because when we put off our soul's calling or making a change that we desperately want to change, it doesn't just go away. It's a death of a part of who we are, and that can lead to extreme sadness. So the first question is, if I'm not blank, what am I? And I have these in the worksheets for you to fill out. Now, it might not be, if I'm not anxious, what am I? Maybe, and this is where the self-awareness part comes in, I want you to start noticing what you say about yourself. If you say, oh, I'm always late. Oh, I never could go there. I could never do that. I want you to start questioning anything that doesn't make your heart expand, any statement that does not make your heart expand and feel excited. I want you to start questioning it. So if you're saying, I could never do that, I want you to ask yourself, what if I could? So it's just flipping the script in your mind. And then once you ask that question, what if I was that? Or, if you say, if I didn't struggle with confidence, what could I do? And then I want you to go with that. I want you to journal. What would you do if confidence was not an issue? What would you do if overeating was not an issue? What doors would open up? What possibilities could you explore? So you can see it's a very simple question, but it is questioning your belief system about yourself and what you're capable of and what's possible for you in your life. So that's the first question. The second question is, if you say, I am always late, I want you to ask yourself, what if I wasn't? Or if you say, I always get sick, I want you to ask yourself, what if I didn't? What would my life look like? What would I be doing that would enable me to build my immune system? If you say, I'm a lousy parent, what if you weren't? What steps would you take to be a more confident, empowered parent? I have so many parenting books because I used to feel triggered with anxiety when it came to my kids' behavior, because it was tied to my identity. And so when they would act out, I would ask myself, am I a horrible parent? Maybe I am a horrible parent. But I started asking this question, what if I was the best parent that I could be? What would I do? And what's wonderful about this strategy is that it focuses your mind on finding a solution. So rather than just saying, this is how life is, this is how I am, and being a victim to it, you take full responsibility and say, what if it was different? What would I have to do to get there? And so then you go, oh, I think I would call my doctor, or, oh, I think I would take a parenting course. And so it puts you in the driver's seat of your life rather than a victim to all these different things. And it puts you on the path of finding answers. And we live in a day, there's no excuse. There's so much free information. There's inexpensive courses like this that give you tools and practical things to implement that will change your dynamic. So there's no excuse these days. And so asking these questions, again, it puts you in the driver's seat, taking full responsibility of a situation and a scenario. Now, it doesn't mean you take responsibility for others. You're only taking responsibility for your experience. You might be someone who struggles with boundaries, and you say, I always get run over by my family. What if you didn't? What would you be doing differently that would equip you with great boundaries, good self-esteem, where that wouldn't be the case? So again, you can see how it moves you from being a passive victim to, I think I can do something about this that I don't like experiencing. So once you start noticing your own words, you're going to start noticing it in other people. And I just want to encourage you not to judge it. It's great to be aware and to notice, but leave the judgment out of it, because we're all on our own journeys. And the more work you do, the more you will realize how powerful your words are, and they are shaping your experience in life. So now it's time to do the journal work and the worksheets. And I'm so excited to hear some of the statements. So I would love for you to reach out and email some of the things that you've overturned and questioned and what you've experienced because of that. All right, I will see you on day 2.